Hey guys, David here at the BMW Performance Center, here to celebrate the DVD and Blu-ray release of Mission Impossible Fallout. I'm super excited to be here. One of my favorite movie franchises has brought me to a automotive wonderland to drive the BMW M2, the M4, the Mini Cooper, and I get to ride with Wade Eastwood, who is the stunt coordinator of these obnoxiously amazing movies. So we're gonna have a ton of fun today, and I can't wait to show you what this is all about. I found myself flown out to Palm Springs, California on a trip sponsored by Paramount for the Mission Impossible Blu-ray release to learn more about what it takes to do all the driving stunts Tom Cruise does himself. I was even given the opportunity to ride along and interview Wade Eastwood. He is the stunt coordinator for the Mission Impossible film series and teaches Tom Cruise how to be an awesome driver and stuntman in his own movies. If you did not know, Tom Cruise actually does all of the stunts in Mission Impossible himself with the help of Wade Eastwood. I also got to interview Jenny Tinmouth, who was the Isle of Man record holder for women motorcycle racing. During the motorcycle chase scene, she was also a stunt double. So noted with a crazy itinerary for the day, we got started. The first thing we did though was something completely unorthodox and I did not expect. We hopped in Mini Cooper S's and drag raced up, turned around, and then had to stop in a box before the other person. If you overshot the braking zone, you lost. And I found out real quick that that was very easy to do. So far though, having a freaking amazing time. Huge thanks to Mission Impossible for bringing me out. Drifting behind me over there, we're right near the Thermal Club as well here at the BMW Driving School. It's a very cool environment. I love coming here, and drag racing just legit. The braking zone really sneaks up on you because you have this really solid straightaway. The U-turn's very, very sharp, but that braking zone sneaks up on you so quick that the first time I did it, I overshot it. We then moved on to the one competitive thing all day. We decided to do a timed autocross against each other on one of my favorite autocross courses I've ever done. The course was practically a road course, but just laid out in a shorter fashion than a normal traditional circuit. It was a sprint race essentially from point A to point B, and you had to stop in the box once again, or your time had 2 seconds added to it. Since I had gone to some driving schools before, I was extremely determined to win first place. We're squealing. That's good. We're making the tires sing, which means we're pushing the limit.
Yeah, you're really close to those yellow ones. I mean, that's where you want to be.
One corner, I went way too fast in, and that's why I don't know if you heard me go, is because I entered too fast, and that's why we went wide. So be a little less aggressive on that one. 20, okay, so I've got to beat 22. God, 22, oh, so close. After my last run, I actually found out that I had won the autocross, my one goal of the day I wanted to achieve. And I got this super awesome medal that I know you guys are all jealous of.
David, where's David at? He's in the car. David's in the car. Sir.
All right.
There you go.
I was not expecting this.
Don't leave me hanging.
I'm like, it's not my birthday.
Good job. Good job.
After the autocross, we did a traditional lead-follow exercise on the circuit, which is essentially a pro-level instructor leading the way and showing you the line of the track. The BMW Driver Schools does this in a form where you start slow and go faster and faster depending on the skill level of the people behind them. Then, for a really awesome moment, I got to ride with Wade Eastwood, stunt coordinator of Mission Impossible. So I hopped in with him and was pleasantly surprised to feel how smooth of a driver Wade actually was. In fact, we borderline did an interview on its own inside while doing this in the new BMW M5.
Like, I only drifted this car in Mission when it was a radio controlled part of it. There was no one meant to be in it, so it was me inside drifting it. So I never drove this car to first gear, really.
Oh, wow, yeah. So you're actually getting to experience it now.
Yeah, it's, I mean, I've driven M3s.
Of course, yeah.
My whole life and Rogue Nation and stuff, but this is beautiful.
Was it cool having the opportunity of having all the different BMWs at your disposal for the the Mission Impossible stuff?
Yeah. I love BMWs, you know, since I was a kid I've owned them, and you know, M3s drifting them, and they're just one of the best balanced chassis in the world, you know, just stock.
Did you have like what, like an E36 or E30?
Yeah, I've had all of them. I had the Shadow line in South Africa, which is a 2.7 liter, the 327.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And the IS was a machine of a car.
And they did the concept for the i8. Everyone was like, they're not gonna build that car, you know. And then they did it.
Yeah.
It was very cool.
Hold on to the braking zone, yeah. To your camera.
Oh yeah, so I don't break my nose. That's wild how fast we're going. We have a normal conversation.
Yeah. This is how we should do the interviews.
Yeah, right. Oh, tell me how this don't work. What? It comes right back around.
Sideways.
I know.
With everything
I know,
off.
it just easy.
Yeah.
You make it look easy. I know it's not easy, but you make it look easy. During that little small talk we just had with Wade, we went up to 140 miles an hour. After the hot lap, we went straight to the interviews and got to know the stunt people of Mission Impossible, which was an incredible privilege. A lot of stuntmen actually start their career as racing drivers, but Wade was actually the opposite. He actually started as a stuntman and then ended up being a racing driver later in life, which I found very interesting.
Unfortunately, wasn't a circuit racer before I was a stuntman, so
Okay.
I wanted to be one.
Okay.
I didn't have the bucks, so I became a stuntman at 19.
Wow.
And then did a whole bunch of stunts and worked my way up to coordinating. Then from coordinating to second year directing, it sort of evolved from there with my love of film and just wanting to control the action a bit more and create the whole sequence and package it and deliver it. My racing I'd always had in my blood. It's my #1 passion and a thing I'd love to do as a full-time job, but it's not that easy. So as soon as I had a little bit of money, I went off and found a big team and tested with them, and I was lucky enough to win, you know, a string of races and in my first season, in my first outing in Formula 3, so it was good. But then work called again. I had to pay for the tyres and petrol and stuff, so I had to go back to work. And Tom's a huge supporter though of mine. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been able to race the 8 races I had in that season.
What blows my mind, especially with Mission Impossible, is that you literally, like on paper, it looks like that you're the stunt coordinator, you teach Tom a lot of techniques and stuff, right? And then he just goes and does it? Or is it like a long process to teach him how to do these stunts and then he just goes for it?
It's not a long process with Tom because he has such athletic ability. And that's the difference. Like, so a lot of stunt people that are one-dimensional, that come in and they're very good at one thing. And that's their thing, whether it's gymnastics or cars or bikes. To make a good stunt person, you have to be versatile. And Tom is very athletic. He's very gymnastic. He can flip, he can do tricks. You know, he's very good in a car and a bike, and if you generally speak, he's at a very high level across the board. So when we're doing a sequence that involves, let's say, cars, because cars are my things, and I'm going to teach him cars. Even though I ride bikes, I'm not at the level like Jenny is and other people, so then I hand him over to them for that, so that they can teach him the little tricks to get, you know, the right pressure on the foot pegs and the things that I don't know, which is normal to them, to give him more control over the bike so that he can get the best out of it and we can get the best action sequence. Tom, it was like, yeah, you could slide a car, but to drift it consistently to a mark, where I got camera crew and I want him to put the nose right there and I want it within a foot every single take, that takes work. It's a different discipline. Like, you can be super fit and go to the gym every day and be super fit, then go surfing, see if you're surfing fit. You won't, you know, it's a different fitness, different discipline. Working with someone that's got such a high athletic level, it's much easier because their brain's so switched on. They listen, they get it, and they're so alert, and they focus. Their focus level, his focus level is ridiculous. A lot of these actors at his level have these massive entourages. Tom's entourage is his physical therapist, because he needs it, because he pushes that body really hard,
absolutely.
And his trainers. And that's it. He's got his long-time standing security guy who's been with him for years and years, just because otherwise he won't be able to walk out of a door. He just gets mobbed. And the thing with Tom is, he gets mobbed because he gives some. He would literally sign autographs all day.
Jenny also has a very cool story and a very grassroots approach to how she became a motorcycle rider.
back at home in the UK, did a little bit of off-road riding at a quarry and sort of practiced jumping and riding down steep sort of inclines and things. So that was a little bit of practice, but not on anything quite as heavy as the Triumph.
Because I read that you have raced a ton in the Isle of Man, correct? And you have the record, right? For
Yeah.
Isle of Man. That's amazing. And I think that's a big feat because I remember watching that on TV and how intense it is, and from the point of view, that's incredible reflexes. So
Crazy
what was
race.
what was it like being on Fallout and doing those stunts for the female actress, doing all the stunts on the motorcycle?
It's fantastic for me. It's just I feel really lucky and privileged to be on Wade's team, and just it's good. I guess having the racing background and coming from everything I've done there gives me a kind of good skill set, hopefully, to transfer to the stunts. And because you've got to, like say with the Isle of Man, you've got to concentrate so hard and you've got to hit your points, or it's.
I mean, I can't imagine the level of mental exhaustion
Yeah.
that brings you. I mean, for going for so long, so fast, and you watch footage of that race, it doesn't even look real. It looks like it's been sped up, and
It's a crazy race.
Yeah, I think it's awesome that you've achieved that. So congratulations
Thank
on
you.
that. It seems like you two as a team has been awesome on Fallout, because every single stunt that I saw was 100% like incredible, because most actors, stars, whatever, they go, where's the green screen? You know, I don't want to do that. I want to jump between buildings. Don't make me do that. But I just love the enthusiasm that this film series has for just going crazy with stunts.
Yeah, again, it's you down to the people around you, It's like, the reason I use a lot of racers is rather than stunt guys that ride bikes and do track days at a high, at a pretty fast level, because the racers operate at a whole different level. Car, for example, we've got camera crew. We might have a 3-camera setup. Cameras over there and crew behind the cameras. And a good racer or stunt driver, or, racing driver, their peripheral vision is so strong. And they can come in and be sliding the car, knowing that Tom Cruise is going to come through there. Now, if something happens where the car before has moved Tom off his lane that he should be, he might be here. I've got 3 camera guys there. I'm watching them the whole time, even though I'm watching Tom. They are so good at knowing where everything is and being so alert and hyper alert. And that's why I use, guys and girls at the top of their game with that, because it's a no-brainer for me. It just makes it safe.
Do 1 take or 10 takes, it's all going to be different.
Totally.
Yeah, and all the different variables, like you just said. Like, I can't imagine doing 1 corner, say you're drifting 1 corner, and the director says, get closer, get closer to the camera, and you're like, okay, and then eventually you probably are like right there, and it's like, no, not close enough. Okay, one more time. I have a huge amount of respect for stunt performers, because I think you guys are underrated, like 100%. I think you guys deserve more recognition for what you guys do. So thank you so much for everything.
Thank you.
Appreciate the
Thank you.
interview. Great meeting. Going out to the BMW Performance Center was an amazing time. You always learn something new when doing driver schools, and that's why if you've done it once before, don't hesitate to do it again if you have the opportunity. Every time you hop on a racetrack, you will always learn something new, and you'll always fix problems and bad habits you've had before. In fact, sometimes you'll apply these skills to real life on the street to be a safer driver. In the end, I could not be more thankful for Mission Impossible sponsoring me and flying me out to do this crazy event, and I will see you guys next time. Take it easy and have a wonderful day. This video was sponsored by the home release of Mission Impossible Fallout, now on 4K Blu-ray and digital, down in the description below.